Hello there, beautiful people. Welcome back to the channel. So first of all, I want to start out this video by giving you guys some bad news. My back is getting a little better, so I think I would be able to get up or sit up in a few days or maybe in a week or so. So you guys would be seeing my ugly mug very soon. Now this video I want to address speech by Oprah Winfrey at the Golden Globes. This is the most trending video on YouTube, and generally I don't watch award shows anymore because I think it's just the 1% of society giving themselves awards, prizes, and telling us how oppressed they are and patting themselves on the back for fighting their imaginary oppression. But since this video was on the top trending video on YouTube, I came across it, and Oprah Winfrey's speech, it essentially the central theme was to fight sexual harassment against women, which is a good theme. All of us, everyone that I know, are anti-sexual harassment. It essentially revolves around the Me Too movement. Let me play a little clip from her speech.
Soldiers in the military, and there's someone else, Reese Taylor. A name I know, and I think you should know too. In 1944, Reese Taylor was a young wife and a mother. She was just walking home from a church service she'd attended in Abbeville, Alabama, when she was abducted by 6 armed white men, raped and left blindfolded by the side of the road, coming home from church. They threatened to kill her if she ever told anyone. But her story was reported to the NAACP, where a young worker by the name of Rosa Parks.
So there we go. It takes off from that movement, and it essentially, goes back, tries to promote the Me Too movement. Now, one of the things with celebrities continuously talking about sexual harassment and the Me Too movement in general is that there has been a consequence of this movement. I don't know whether that consequence is intentional or unintentional. I'll leave you guys to decide. But I think all the social activists and celebrities included are only talking about one aspect of sexual harassment and not the entire thing. They're talking about the rights of victims, which is good. Victims should have rights, but I think they're ignoring another aspect of this, which is respect of due process. I think an unintended consequence of this movement has been a diminished respect for due process, in the sense that men can lose their reputations, their careers, their jobs for an accusation that is not proven true in court. Now, obviously, things like sexual harassment are a lot worse in certain other parts of the world than it is in the West. For example, India. Rape is a really big problem in India. Let's take a look at an article by the BBC that talks about this. After the infamous gang rape of a student of a bus in Delhi, the number of rape cases reported to the police in India rose sharply. But one survey concluded that in Delhi in 2013 to 2014, more than half of these reports were false, fueling claims by male activists that women are alleging rape in order to extort money from men. Now, I don't necessarily agree with this claim by male activists, but you can see the problem, right? And this sort of hits the problem in the head. Once you start to cater to people's opinions, once this court of public opinion gets precedence over due process, this is a slippery slope that is expected, right? You do see things like this happen. Now, I'm going to cite some numbers. These numbers come from left-leaning institutions that support the Me Too movement and endorse the Me Too movement. And the reason why I'm using their numbers is so that people don't, so that I can reach a middle ground with these people and maybe make them a little aware of the consequences. So this number comes from the UK Centre for Research Against Violence for Women. They say only about 2% of all rape and related sex charges are determined to be false, the same percentages as for other felonies, according to the FBI. So they use the word only to say, well, 2% of fake charges is not too big a number. Well, I will leave that to your interpretation. However, let me give you some more context for you to assess that number. Here I'm citing a group called Men for Violence Against Women. Now, by the way, I will cite all you will be finding links to all these sources down in the description below if you guys want to check this out yourself. They say only 3.4% of rape incidents lead to conviction. Okay, why is this number important? 3.4% of rape cases are proven to be true in a court of law. 2% of rape cases we know are false. The rest of the cases, we don't know if they're true, we don't know if they're false. We need more context to talk about that, context that I don't have. What we know for a fact is 3.4% are proven true in a court of law, 2% are false. That false number is more than 50% of the number that is proven true in court. So that tells me that maybe there is another aspect of the movement that is important, which is respect for due process. And it is in my opinion that a lot of the activists who are pushing for the Me Too movement don't seem to address this part of the issue. Listen, if you're gonna fight for women's rights, if you're gonna fight against sexual harassment, you have everyone on board. But if you start, don't address this issue, which I think a lot of people should, but I can't force anyone to say things they don't want to. But if people stop ignoring this due process aspect, they're gonna lose a lot of people, and that movement, rather than being something that should be supported by everyone, will be seen as a controversial one. Well, that's my take on it, you guys. Thank you for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed this video and got something out of it, press that like rating and subscribe to the channel for more content. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching.